my PhD was actually in the field of international trade. I went to a school of international relations, and that seems very different from what I do now. And the link, I think, is that I lived in so many different countries that I saw that people had the same problems everywhere. So I could not idealize, like I had learned to think that there was some other country where everything was perfect. And I was always looking for that perfect place. And then I realized that people all have the same things going on. So when I wrote the book, I was very much looking for examples that would make sense anywhere in the world. And my students, when I was teaching, were from all over the world. So that's why I'm so happy that you found the book understandable, relevant to your patients.
I can't agree more because the problem are same all over the world. It's actually your brain, which you have very well explained in your book, which how it predicts the problem. So yeah, they are same all over the world. We feel the same frustration, same things wherever we live.
And we create them ourselves, and we
Yeah,
don't know it wherever we live. And that's what's so interesting to me, that I'd go to another place far away and people would complain about the same kind of family dramas, work dramas, friendship dramas. So it's fascinating. So I'm interested if you explain what you read in my book to other people you know, how you explain it, because I actually have trouble talking about it to people in my personal life. So I love to understand how other people explain it.
Yeah, basically, whenever we encounter a patient, patient want a quick fix to their problems usually because that is the how the traditional medicine works. You have infection, you got a pill, and infection is gone. But at this moment, we are not dealing with infection. Infection is only the 10% of part of our practice. We are dealing with many chronic illnesses, which are mostly produced by their own lifestyles and their own mind settings. So these work like your work is very fascinating and very important because people want, if they don't change their lifestyles, if they don't change their habits, they are not going to anywhere. They will not be well. They will not get rid of their disease. So what we are going to give them some patchwork, like, okay, your blood pressure is high, take this medicine, it will get lower. But the science behind the hypertension, the causes behind the hypertension, they are not going to be removed. So you have explained in your book, if people want to read them and they are interested in their wellness, so that you can make new habits, so you can live a healthy and fulfilled life. And many people are at the moment, I'm very happy to know that there are many people in at the moment are working in this. Maybe our message is not reached to everybody, but yeah, people are working, people started working. So we are talking, you are talking on podcast also. So if this message is delivered, the burden of disease will be reduced, definitely.
That's nice to hear, but something interesting I live in a little pocket where most people exercise and eat healthy food, and yet it still doesn't make them happy. That's why I kept studying the animal brain, because all of these idealized theories we have that if you just eat this, then you'll be happy. And if it doesn't work, then you should eat that. And if it doesn't work, you should eat that. And the same for exercise. If it doesn't work, then you have to exercise more and more and more. And yet, the deeper issues that people have are what I would simply call social comparison. And I don't mean social media, because people have had social comparison issues since the beginning of time. It's that feeling that other people are happy all the time, which is not true, because our brain doesn't make us happy all the time. So, yeah, what do you think about social comparison?
Yes, you're totally right because yes, that is the next step of being wellness. If you have a knowledge of your hormones, if you have, the half of your problem is solved when you know why this is happening to me. So yeah, that is very, very important. If you do not know, so you always think why I'm frustrated. So you should have a knowledge of your hormones because brain is studied extensively during in last decades, so everybody should have access to that knowledge, that how our brain works and what is why our brain is always on the defensive mode or on survival mode, because we that is the history of mammal brain. So that's why yes, the knowledge is the first step of everything, even for disease or everything. It's the knowledge about that. If you know the things, you are able to solve your problem, but without any knowledge, you will not see anything, and you will always see, oh, somebody is doing wrong with me, and this is the problem which is only with me, and everybody else, as you have already mentioned this, that everybody else is very, very happy and they don't have any problem. So but that is not how it works. Yeah, it's very, very clear,
Yes.
it is scientific, it is beyond any evidence. But yeah, the only thing which are we lacking at the moment is that we are not telling the people, and people are not reading it, because it's little bit new science as compared to others which have been from decades, that the germs are killed by antibiotics, or we can get rid of this and we can get rid of that. And again, after next step was that lifestyle modification, which is exercise and everything, and the talking to doctor, communication skills of doctors were important, because before that there was authoritative behavior of doctor, do this, do that, and that is not going to work at all. Then doctors are going trained in communication skills, how they can see whether the patient is ready or he is not ready. Then, and after this, that come the idea that we should send the patient to some expert, or we can advise them to do some online courses or something if they are feeling multiple aches and pains, and we know the root cause is that because they are unhappy most of the time. So we can send them to some online course or some expert, and we should I again say that multidisciplinary approach does not work in this way. We should also take care of our patient, and we should have knowledge about these things. Nothing that just I am referring you to this expert, go there. No, that is not going to work. We should also have, as a doctor, knowledge about these things. Then this is going to work.
Good, good. I just want to mention, when you say this information is new, that for my personal writing, I'm working off research that was available in the 20th century from cognitive psychology and evolutionary biology. So a lot of people mention that I'm doing neuroscience, and I always say that I do not claim to be doing neuroscience. Because, oh, and there's another book I just had it. It's called The Synaptic Self. The Synaptic Self, How Your Synapses Make You Who You Are. And it was written in 2002. So, and I think I read it as soon as it came out. So again, that this knowledge has been around for a while, but it's just hard for people to embrace. So you can send people to an online course on depression. Do you acknowledge with them the emotional issue, or do you wait for them to bring it up? How do you do that?
Yeah, that is very, very important. That we should. That's why the communication skill, the lot of work which is being done in medicine is now on the communication between doctor and patient and individualized approach towards the patients. Yeah, we should ask the patient certain questions, and we should take interest what is happening there in a personal life and everything. And then, yeah, a patient can mention, I feel, but we have to ask certain question whether he feels happy, or what are the things if he has come to you with headache which is chronic, which has been for many months, we should know who the headaches are actually. So yeah, we should start, we can start that, and if a patient feels himself in a safe place, he or she can also start that.
Huh, that's good. It didn't occur to me. Like someone comes in and says, I have a headache, and the doctor says, are you happy? I've never had a doctor ask me that. That's very interesting. I'll have to see who's heard of
Yeah,
that.